Most people hate moving day. From cleaning, packing, transporting, and bribing your friends to help you, it can be really stressful. So today I'm talking about moving tips and hacks to reduce time, money, and stress. Alright.
Oh my god, okay.
We're in the truck. We're loading things into the truck. As you can see. Hello and welcome to another video. That was quite a week, y'all. Arjun and I moved into our new apartments. Just last week, both our leases were up and we had to go through the dreaded moving day. Doing this alone would have been a nightmare, so thankfully we had each other for support. But even then, there's a lot of planning involved if you want this process to go smooth and stress-free. Luckily, I discovered some tips and hacks along the way, which I'm happy to share with y'all. So when I first sat down to plan the move, I thought it was best to do it on a weekday because the costs are cheaper and availabilities are higher. Moving costs are highest in the beginning and the end of the month and also on weekends. So I took 2 days off of work, moved on a Thursday, and that way I got the weekend to, unpack and buy the furniture and plants that I wanted to. And it was overall a more relaxed process. Now, while renting the truck, I made sure to rent an appliance and a utility dolly as well. These are basically hand carts with wheels at the bottom, which make it really easy to transport heavy furniture or boxes. Now, since I wasn't going with a moving company and was doing it on my own, I had to take care of my back, and these dollies really made it easy. You can stack multiple boxes on these things and minimize the number of trips you need to take to the truck. Surprisingly, these dollies were quite cheap to rent. It was $7 a day, and I can honestly tell you that it was the best $7 I spent in the entire move. After getting the basic logistics out of the way, I came to the major chunk, which is cleaning and packing. Now, after watching a series of Marie Kondo episodes, I decided that I only wanted to take those belongings that really needed to be there in my new space, or that sparked joy. I also found that it's easier to get rid of stuff and then pack it rather than take it to your new space and then continue not using it. So I sorted through my belongings and divided them into 2 piles, one that I would be taking and the other that I would either sell on Facebook Marketplace or I'd give to Goodwill. Now with Facebook Marketplace, one thing I did right there was that I listed them on the website very early on, almost a month before. So they had enough time to sell. And the other smaller stuff, I drove to Goodwill and made a donation. Because I do realize that I am fortunate and I have some items that others would probably crave for. So in my own way, it felt good to make a difference. When it came to actually packing my belongings, the first thought that entered my head was that I'd go to a Staples or a U-Haul store and buy packing supplies. But what I found was that a better way to do it and a more economical way to do it is to ask around your neighborhood. You can do this by posting on your neighborhood Facebook group or on Nextdoor, which is like social network for neighbors. Chances are that someone who's just moved into the area will have plenty of boxes, tapes, packing paper, etc. lying around that they're waiting to get rid of. And if you're unsuccessful at that, you could probably go to grocery stores or liquor stores and try your luck there too. So by doing this, I got boxes, tape, packing paper, and bubble wrap all for free. Before moving on, I just want to remind you guys to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to hit the bell icon next to it because that way you will be notified of all the money saving tips and tricks we'll talk about in the future. So when it finally came to packing my stuff into boxes, at first I was just stacking things on top of each other. But then I read up on space saving tips online. And I found that the optimum way to do it is to find any gaps or spaces within items and fill it up with more items. So this could be something like taking storage containers and filling it up with spices, putting socks inside shoes, and military rolling your clothes. This way you make the most out of your luggage space, and overall there are fewer items to transport. Another hack that was a game changer for me was a way to transport my clothes with the hangers on. So instead of taking it off the hanger, folding it, packing, unpacking, and putting it back up again, you can just bundle a bunch of clothes, take a trash bag, pull it from underneath the clothes and all the way over the top to the hanger. And then just remove it from the rack, tie it, and you're good to go. This way I could use my suitcase for other items and the trash bags just stacked on top of each other at the back of the truck. This trick also ensures that your clothes don't get wrinkled and you can hang them up immediately in your new home. Fast forward to the actual moving day, I made sure to take an inventory of all the boxes and items that I had. So I took a marker and on each box I wrote down what it contains and what room it belongs to. I also created an Excel spreadsheet where I very nicely divided it into boxes, suitcases, and miscellaneous items. I also had two other columns called loading and unloading. So every time a box would make it to the truck, I would just mark that as green. And at the end of the whole process, I was pretty confident that I didn't lose any items along the way. Moving is stressful in itself. There are 100 things to take care of, and if you're not on top of things, you could end up losing your important documents or valuables in the process. So it's best to transport your most valuable items yourself. This could be your passport, cash, important paperwork, or jewelry. You can take it with you in the car so that you know it's safe at all times. The last thing you want is to have a rough start in your new home. Before I finally left my old apartment, I made sure to whip out my smartphone and take a couple of pictures and videos of the state that I left the place in. You know that landlords are notorious for charging unnecessary fees and then you don't get your deposit back. This way, you have photographic evidence and backup if you need it. Don't forget to do the same thing in your new place. So look out for any damages, scratches, or dents and let the management know that it was there before you moved in. The last tip I have for you is actually something that Arjun did, which I thought was pretty smart. He opened up a new credit card. It was the Chase Amazon card that had a $100 Amazon credit as sign-up bonus. So he used that credit to buy furniture and home decor for his new apartment. He knew that he'd have to make these purchases anyway, so getting this card really made him get all this stuff for free. This is actually his 6th credit card. He does this thing called churning, which is basically opening multiple credit cards and exploiting all their sign-up offers. This is, however, a slightly advanced topic, so we are planning to talk about it later in the future. Also remember to only employ this technique if you're financially responsible and can maintain credit cards properly. By taking advantage of all these tips and hacks, I was able to move myself without the help of a moving company for about $200. So this accounts for the truck rental, the insurance, renting the dollies, the fuel for the truck, and also move out cleaning. If I'd hired professionals to do it, the same thing would have cost me a minimum of $600. Now, the reason I was able to save time, money, and energy in this whole process was because I started planning early on and also researched on ways to make it easier. I'm curious to know if you guys have some tips you'd like to share. Let us know in the comment section below. Now, if you made it this far, you get to see some bonus clips from when Arjun and I were actually moving.
Very important to make a plan, so the first thing we did was to write down an entire moving plan. It's a lot.
No friends of mine around, yeah. Now I'm thinking might have caught the June blues, yeah. I wanna drown myself inside the
Apparently Best Buy has a recycling facility right outside. So we're probably gonna go there and throw all of this stuff. This controller actually brings back a lot of memories. I used to spend every waking minute of the weekend playing FIFA Ultimate Team.
So my entire wardrobe has boiled down to these. The cabinets are emptied and we filled it in boxes. My sister here is helping us get rid of the apples by making, what are we making?
We're making apple crumble.
Apple crumble. Alright.
Oh my god, okay.
We're in the truck. It's a big truck. We're loading things into the truck. As you can see.
In the road.
Woo!
I am the anxious companion.
Alright, we just got done with unloading. That's it, we're returning the truck.
Woo!
hope you free your soul, hope you free your soul. I might have caught the June